you guys? How you guys? Good afternoon. I hope you guys are doing wonderful today. I know this is what have been scheduled for Saturday, but things happen. My baby comes first, but I have a wonderful, wonderful treat for you guys today. I have my sister, my business coach, my mindset coach. She is a best-selling New York author. She has been in the industry for over 20 plus years. I want to welcome you to my business coach and my amazing friend, Takiyah Diamond. How are you this morning, beautiful? Grand
I,
Rising. Grand Rising for us, because
hello, everybody. I am absolutely amazing.
awesome, awesome, awesome. So I just want to dive in. We've been trying to get this together for a few weeks now, and I know your busy schedule. You was in New Jersey, now you was in Atlanta, then you back in Atlanta
Yes.
now. You are, I know you're going leaving out sometime soon, but I wanted us to dive in and let people know who is Takiyah Diamond, and how do you serve?
Well, first of all, Kid Diamond is an infinite being. You know that I am the illusion that you see. But if we ask, what do I do? What I am is a success business coach. And what I do is I help my clients to transform their brains, their businesses, and their bank accounts. And I'm the person who you come to when you're ready to step outside of your comfort zones, when you're ready to literally face head on those fears and limitations that are keeping you from succeeding in the way that you truly do desire. So Takiyah Diamond is, as you stated, a five-time award-winning author, influencer, and coach in money mindset, emotions. And I want to say emotions by letting you guys know that E in motion is for energy. Okay. So I actually help my clients with energy and motion mastery, understanding your energy, because a lot of times people don't really realize that energy is everything. And if you don't master that, it's only but so far that you can get to. I'm also a coach in transformation and especially manifestation.
Guys, guys, when I tell you this woman is amazing at what she does, like she doesn't give herself enough kudos, but I am today. Let's dive in, because that's people don't really understand or know that you actually was in the music industry, correct? Like for 20, is it 20? Was it 20 years?
Oh yeah, I was in the industry for a very, very, very long time. I started out in music. Music has always been my first love, and that is where it all began. And I like to add that coming from the music industry, it taught me a lot of things. It taught me a lot of things about who I thought I was, realizing who I wasn't, and so many other things that had me literally feeling trapped in my mind and my soul, and just so many things that I didn't know was controlling my own life. But I also didn't realize the influence that I was having on the lives of others. And when I did, I decided to make a transition because it was extremely important for me to help people to see the truth that I didn't see myself initially, as well. And things just turned around for me. But I'm so grateful for being able to actually be in the music industry because it helped me so much to literally understand the truth of things from so many different perspectives. And I'm ever so grateful for that experience.
So how was that transition? How was that transition from you being in the music industry and now being a wealth coach? What was that process like?
Okay, so that process of moving from being in the music industry and into a wealth coach, it was a process because first of all, let me state that I came from the music industry first, and then after waking up and facing the reality of a lot of things that I wasn't aware of, I had to step out with this uncertainty of not knowing what people were going to think of me, not knowing exactly if the new path that I was taking was even the right path at all, that type of thing. So transitioning from music into becoming this the woman of wisdom, I started with my first book, which was Get Your Life Together. And that was me literally just coming out of the shell, coming into the awareness of what really was, what really was happening, what was really going on, and having to share that truth with other people of the simple fact that we were all being mind controlled, and we still are to this day. And so transitioning from being a part of the problem into being a part of the solution to the problem is two different worlds, and you kind of battle with yourself whether people are going to accept you or not. But whatever it was that was in me, I didn't care whether people accepted me or not. I just knew that if I was growing through this on my own, that there had to be several other people who may have been experiencing the same thing. And I didn't want anybody to be left out, especially I didn't want no blood on my hands, okay? So, I stood up and stood out and became the superwoman that you guys see today.
Yes, yes. So being all that you are and all that you have accomplished in the industry and also being a wealth coach, how was that transition? How was that transition from being in the industry, being a wealth coach, and being so successful? How, if someone wanted to be an author or wanted to be a health coach, how can you share your experience with us and let us know how that transition really was and how it helped you become so successful?
Yes. Mindset is everything. The first step to making any change in your life is knowing that from the beginning, you are going to have to change your mind. Not only are you going to have to change your mind, you are also going to have to change your habits. Not only are you going to have to change your habits, you are also, as you change your habits, you're going to have to develop a character. Your character is going to change. After you start to develop this character of yourself, you have to be able to steadily hold the self-image that you have of yourself, of who you are choosing to become. And so there are so many different parts of ourselves that I don't want to say we don't know, because I'm aware. There's so many different parts of yourself that a lot of you guys are not aware of. And if you understood that all of these things work together and how they work together, you would see things change in your business. You would see things change in your relationships, and you would see things change in your life in general, in your well-being, your health. Things would change because when you don't have a mindset that is one of fear, one of I'm scared because what? I'm scared because you're not taking action on some of the things that you need to take action on when it comes to you building your business. Because one, you're afraid of rejection. Two, you don't want to be judged. Three, one of the main things I already said is that you're afraid of what somebody's going to say about you. And so to prevent yourself from getting hurt or having people slander you, you just do nothing. But what happens is when you decide that you're going to be in business, you have to push aside all of those other things. None of those things matter. I mean, literally, none of those things matter. It's going to take for you. And if we start with you changing your mindset first, I can share with you guys, just a couple things that you can literally do in order to be able to change your mindset. So in business, your money mindset is important. Now we understand that money mindset overall is everything, but your money mindset is important because if you have a lack mentality, you can start a business, but I promise you, you won't stay in business. Okay. You have my word up, my honest to God, promise that you won't be in business very long, right? Because you have to understand that you're going to be dealing with different people. You're going to be dealing with different personalities. You're going to be dealing with people who have experienced different things in their life than you have when you're coming into business for yourself. Which means not only that are you dealing with other people, now you have to become a better money manager, because now if you're generating income and you have all of this money, then it's likely that you might have this belief where, well, every time I get money, I got to use it on something, or I lose the money, and money is hard to come by. And if you're holding on to beliefs like that, you are going to get the money, yes, and you are going to find something that you're going to have to lose it on. But the thing is that it's more so about adopting new skills. You're going to need money management skills. You're going to need disciplinary skills for yourself, right? You're going to need to know when to take action and how to take inspired action, and the different things that you can do to literally alter your brain, because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about literally assisting you with the neuroscience and the quantum physics of altering your life and literally manifesting one that you love, changing not just your mind, but changing your money, changing your business, changing your family, like the way that you do business, the way that you talk to people, because you'll also understand that, again, energy is everything. So if you're talking sly to people and you expect for yourself to be treated with royalty while you treat other people crappy, it's just a matter of time before somebody begins to treat you crappy as well. So there's so many different compartments that you need to know, in order for you to literally run a successful business. And let alone, you need that mindset, you need that skill set, and you need the strategy. Those are the three things that you need in order to have a successful business.
Wow. Like, I don't know. She dropping you gems. I'm trying to tell you. Like, she's my coach, and I'm up here writing down, notes and making sure that I'm and bust, to refresh my, my memory. So, what is Prosperity Genius, and what is that movement all about? Because you do have this whole movement, your company, this is what you stand for, and you've been pushing it for, I think, 5 years now. Is that correct? Is it 5 or 3?
Yes. So, well, Prosperity Genius itself is kind of new because we started out with She Power to Profit, right? We had Minds Up, but I'm not even saying that we had. These are things that I still do have in place, but Prosperity Genius for probably the last 2 years, maybe, I would say, has become the unbirthing miracle for the world when it comes to you literally getting your business in order. So the Prosperity Genius movement is, again, helping you to transform your brain first, right? Because if you don't change your mindset, nothing else changes. You being a genius means that you think differently from those people who think by default. You thinking as a genius means that you take responsibility for the things that you may not have done, and you take responsibility for the things that you have done that have contributed to the financial reality that you see in front of you today, right? Once you can take responsibility as a genius, you know that you have the power to alter your reality at any given time. As a genius, you understand that we live in the present moment. It's not about our past. It's not about our future. It's about what we're creating and what we're doing right now that ends up revealing and unfolding to us the future that we created based on the thoughts and feelings and emotions that we are dealing with right now. The things that we are facing now is what is going to allow you to see something different unfold. Prosperity Genius is all about you understanding your energy, right? You literally being fearless. And this is where we kind of bridge the gap to where now not only are we pushing the Prosperity Genius masterminds, but we're also doing the fearless, confident, consciouspreneur movement, right? And the fearless, confident, consciouspreneur movement is all about understanding your energy when it comes to your business. If you're an entrepreneur and you don't really understand consciousness and you don't really understand energy, that means that you're literally going to stop yourself from being the best version of yourself in your business. But when you have consciousness, then you literally, when you know the ability that you have when it comes to consciousness and you have a higher level of consciousness, you don't do things the way that you used to do them. You don't think the way that you used to think. You don't move the way you like. It's like your mind literally pushes you to do the things that you need to do. It's like you wake up and all of a sudden you just, this book just comes out of you, or this program just comes out of you, or you just feel inspired to make this phone call, and now you just landed a $10,000 client, right? So being a genius and being fearless, being confident are three things that are imperative in order for you to literally have a successful business as well. Because actually, guys, at the end of the day, it's not about religion at all. It's literally you creating a life that you want has to do with one thing only, and that is brain and heart coherence. When your brain is in alignment with what you feel in your heart, and therefore, when you have brain heart coherence, your brain and your heart are on the same page, that's when you see everything unfold. The reason most of your manifestations don't come forward is because what? Your brain is saying one thing, but your heart is feeling another, which means there's a mixed match in your brain and your heart coherence. Okay, they're out of alignment. And so if they're out of alignment, so will your business be out of alignment. So will your finances be out of alignment. So will your relationships be out of alignment. So will a whole lot of things that you're trying to grab a hold on to. You won't be able to do it because there's no coherence. They're not on the same page. And that's something that I can
So
share.
tapping into that energy and tapping into that topic, this
Yes.
goes into my next question. What
Okay.
kind of mindset should someone have when starting a business or building, like even a business credit? That's something that I'm an expert in. So what type of mindset do someone need to actually have a successful business, or even start a successful business, or even go to the level where you have a business, but you are hesitant about building your business credit? Like, what shift do someone need to take, or what actions do they need to perform for that to be something that's, to have them have to be successful in that
So
business?
I would say, um, the first thing is you have to have a mindset of cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is literally consciously disowning the reality that you currently see. What has to happen is you literally have to turn away from what's wrong. You have to have a mindset on that, the simple fact that I'm going to focus on what's possible. I'm not going to be driven by the difficulty of how hard this might be or whatever the case might be, right? Because if you focus on the difficulty, what's going to happen? You know the answer to this. If you focus on difficulty, what happens?
Difficulty is going to keep appearing in your business or
That's
in your
right.
life.
That's right. More and more difficulties are going to keep showing up in your life. So, the key to actually having a positive money mindset, the first thing is to look for opportunities instead of consistently looking for roadblocks. You have to open yourself up to seeing what is there, what is available, and you must have an open mind. Your mindset has to be open. There's going to be things that you never heard of in your life that you're going to be told to do, that you're going to be, and it's going to some of it may freak you out because you're going to be like, oh my God, I never did this. But then that's where your confidence comes in. You also have to have a confident mindset. You have to believe that you can do no matter whatever it is that needs to be done. It doesn't matter if your mind is saying, oh, you can't do that, because that's not your mind. That is your ego. And your ego is going to tell you that you can't do those things that you want to do because its job is to keep you safe. Your brain is trying to keep you safe. It wants you to stay in this place that you have trained it to be in for however many years old that you are or young that you may be, right? You have trained it to think this way. You've trained it to act this way. You've trained it to deliver to you the exact things that you have been saying and putting out there. They're showing back up for you, right? Another thing that you want to understand, especially for those of you guys who are in business and you're blaming yourself for things. You got to have a mindset to where you drop the blame of past experiences. Let it go, right? Because if you made mistakes in business before, you're probably going to be fearful about taking actions now. You're probably going to be like, well, I don't know if this is going to work. Again, ego is going to be talking to you, right? And all you have to do to your ego is when it starts, that voice comes in and your little girl or your little boy comes in, that inner child comes in, it's just say, thank you for sharing. You're the boss of your life now. You have to take charge. That's one of the qualities that you're going to need in order for you to have a successful business. And being that Kiyah actually does business credit, you guys have to understand it doesn't matter whether you have $5,000 in debt or whether you have $50,000 in debt. It's actually fixable. But guess what? Because you believe that, oh my God, I can't fix this. I'm $50,000 in debt. That's why you can't fix it. You don't believe that you can. Your beliefs is everything. I don't know. My credit can't be fixed. Man, you know how much I got on my credit? I got bankruptcy. I got this. I got that. I got judgments. I got student loans. Okay. That's okay. But if you have the mindset of what's possible and what could actually be done and start doing a little bit of research, you'll notice that it's not as bad as you thought that it was. That no matter what, recognize that every financial situation is fixable, but it is fixable only with you fixing your mindset first, right? Fixing that mindset, guys, it's going to always keep bringing me back to what you think, what you believe, what mindset are you allowing to run the show for you? Because at the end of the day, you have your Einstein brain, that's your genius brain, right? That's the one that's giving you all of these amazing ideas and all of that. But then you have your Frankenstein brain that's like, no. Right? But at the end of the day, it comes to a point where you have to settle down both of them so that you can be in your own complete energy, in your own complete frequency, right? Of completion, of knowing, trusting, believing that it is so, that it is possible. And if it wasn't possible, you would never have the thought of it to begin with, right? If you got the thought, it's because you're the one to fulfill it, right? Okay, so that's the thing. You have to be driven. That's another thing. You not only do you need to be confident, you have to have a confident mindset, but you also have to be ambitious. You have to be driven. And if you have a problem with confidence, you have a problem with being driven, you have a problem with those areas to where you have uncertainty and you really don't know what the strategy is to get out of this mindset, then coach with me. Book a session with me or something to where I can literally go through some money stories that I guarantee you that you've been holding on to that are limiting the amounts of money that you are even earning in your business. Do you know that there is a financial set point that you have, and that every time you reach that set point, let's just say that you're used to earning, I'm going to do a low ball number. We don't do these numbers over here, but I'm going to just throw this out here because I don't know where everybody at. I don't want people freaking out. So let's just say you're used to earning $5,000 a month in your business, right? You earn that $5,000 and all of a sudden everything happens in order for that $5,000 to be depleted, right? So let's just say that you go above that $5,000, right? Let's just say you make $10,000 this particular month, but usually you make $5,000, right? So you switched your set point, you made that $10,000, but what happens now is that because your energy starts to fall off because you got comfortable that you made that $10,000, you end up dropping back down the next month. You end up only making $4,000 for the month. You go below what you're used to making. And this is all because you literally have to consistently work on your mind. You have to consistently work on your brain, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. You need to be speaking life into your business. You have to speak life into yourself. You have to speak life into you becoming ambitious, you becoming driven. You have to utilize things like affirmations that will help to reinforce the belief that it is possible for you. Okay. And so another thing is you have to also see the value. If you want to be successful in business, the mindset that you need is not only just an open mind, but you need a mindset that says it's okay for me to ask for help. Do you know how many people fail because they scared to say something? It's like, well, I mean, I want to say something, but I don't want to look stupid, so I'm just not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to listen to everybody else's questions, and hopefully, maybe somebody will ask the question that I need to get answered. Da, 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 instead of you saying, "Hey, this might be a stupid question, but I know the only stupid question there is the one that's not asked. So can I ask a question? Can you share with me how does da 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 work?" Or can you share with me what did you do to overcome da 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 da? You understand what I'm saying? So see the value of asking for help rather than struggling silently. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And also, I guess the last thing that I could give to you guys on this particular question or what have you, is accept even the small progresses that you get, the small steps that you have to take. When it comes to you having a strategy, stop thinking that you got to do everything in one day. That is going to hinder you. It's going to lead to stagnation and procrastination. And where stagnation and procrastination leads you to. Nowhere. Nothing left done. What it does is it leads you into resentment. It leads you into guilt. It leads you into shame. It leads you into all of these low vibrational emotions that will literally make sure and confirm and reinforce the fact that your business is falling down, 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 down. All right. So accept that, the small steps that are necessary for you to take. Stop thinking that you got to do one big thing. Take the small steps that will lead you to that big step. So where you got so much of the little things done, that big step, when it's time to take that big step, it seems like a piece of cake because you done knocked so many of them little steps out that all of that stuff is out the way. Now you actually have the energy, you got the space, and you have the consciousness in order for you to be a deliberate creator of whatever it is that you're bringing forth. I hope that helped.
Coach, when I tell you, you dropping the jewel.
Just a moment, guys.
The computer got hot, you guys. It knocked me out. I apologize. But listen, Coach, you are dropping the gems today. So, in right, you have brung up brokeism and fearism. How does one free themselves from that mindset?
Okay, hold on 1 second for me. I need to make sure that I have us on my page. I never did it. All right. What was your question? Tell me that again.
The question is empower the profit. I have the book. I read the book,
Oh,
and you have a
yeah.
chapter in there that says it's about brokeism and fearism. How does one free themselves from that mindset when building a business or just in life in general, but especially when building a business? Because people, like you said, think they don't have the money or they need a whole lot of money to build a business when it doesn't really take that much. It just takes, like you said, dedication, your mind shift, and know that you can do it. So how does one that has that mindset, they say, listen, Coach, I hear you, but I'm still thinking brokeism. I'm still thinking freeism. How does one free themselves?
The main thing is get a coach, get help, get help, get help. You cannot do it by yourself because the first thing you have to know is you cannot create a new financial future with the same mind that created the crooked one. All right. So one of the main keys is literally finding that balance, actually having a positive attitude about what it is that you're about to do. If your attitude about it is flaky, then again, procrastination can go. It's still a lot of this stuff still leads back to the same thing. Attitude. That's not the only element of a successful mindset. You also got to have balance. You also have to have balance in what fosters stability, right? But the thing is most of you guys, you don't plan for that. You don't plan for that. Most people are living paycheck to Monday instead of, I can't even say paycheck to paycheck because sometimes you get paid on Friday. By Monday, your check is gone. So you're living paycheck to Monday trying to figure it out, right? And If you spend all your time focused on debt elimination and I got this problem, I got that problem, da 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 da, your mindset is gonna block you from saving. Your mindset is gonna block you from having more money, from getting more customers and things like that, right? So if you want to literally overcome that, I'm telling you, you're gonna have to start creating some new money mantras. So you're gonna have to create a new routine for yourself. Your daily routines, when you first get up, they have to be different. The first thing you do shouldn't be you grabbing your cell phone, scrolling through your email and Facebook, unless there's an affirmation program that you got on there that you use to program your mind when you first wake up. Do you know that you can literally create your day? Most people don't create their day because they don't know that they can create it. Why? They don't know because they lack awareness. And this is why you need to get help. This is why you need to get a coach. In my book, The Power to Profit, I literally teach you what your conscious mind is, what your subconscious mind is, what your superconscious mind is. I also teach you how to break up with brokeism, because guess what? Brokeism is a mentality of lack and scarcity. That's what brokeism is. It's a disease. It's a dis-ease in your finances. It's a dis-ease in what you feel and what you think about money. It's a dis-ease. You don't feel easy about it. And if you do not cognitively disown what it is that you've been looking at, you're going to stay right where you are. Right? And so in my book, I teach you how to break up with brokeism. In that book, I also teach you that you literally have to change your DNA. And how you alter your DNA is by pulling up the weeds and planting some new seeds for a transformed life. You can't do it any other way. You can't. Okay. Inside the book, The Power to Profit, I also teach you how to stop worrying, because guess what? When you worry, it doesn't change anything. The more you worry, the more stuck in the problem that you get, because guess what happens? Let's get back to your brain. The more that you keep worrying, the more images that you keep seeing playing back, recorded messages. The way that your brain works is it records everything. And since it records everything, it's only going to play back what it knows to play, right? So if you got all of these recordings going on in your mind of playbacks of the past, it can only bring more of that to your future. So if the reality that you don't have yet is the one that you prefer, then if it's not already programmed in your mind, you have to be the one to put it there. You have to be the one to put that mental program there. You have to understand that your subconscious mind does not understand the difference between what's real and what's fake. It does not know. It goes by your emotions, and it goes by the things that you feel. What it goes by, what's the word that there's a phrase that I usually use. I know I always say what you think about, you bring about, but I want to say, what you feel, you make real. Those feelings that you have about what you're thinking about. That's what I wanted to say. How you feel about what you're thinking about is bringing about whatever that is. Okay? How you feel about what you're thinking about is what you're bringing about. So
Yes.
if you feel great about what you're thinking about, then you're going to bring forth more greatness. You're going to begin to have more neural pathways that connect with each other. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's so much that I could tell y'all on here. The only thing I can tell you guys, because it's all neuroscience, and at the end of the day, the neurons that wire together, they fire together. So that means that when you have one positive thought, and when you start setting up a plan and creating a plan for your actions of what you're going to do, now you're going to start sparking the neurons in your brain to start to search for the things that literally will yield to you what you need. Your brain and your heart are the two most powerful tools in your body. If I shoot you in your heart, your brain don't work. If I shoot you in your brain, it don't even matter what's going on in your heart, because your brain can't function. These are the two most powerful tools. This is why the word says everything that you need to create a life you love is already alive in you. That's what that means. If you ever wonder, what does it mean that the answers are inside of me? Everything is I need. I already have everything I need. That's what that means. You have everything you need. You already have everything you need. You have your brain and you have your heart. You got everything you need. The only thing now is you reprogramming that brain and reprogramming the feelings in your heart, releasing from your heart chakra all of these contaminated emotions and feelings about so many different things that you experience in your life, and especially in your finances. You probably heard your mother say, money don't grow on trees. Stop asking me for money. Oh, the more you keep asking me for, don't you see me and your father are getting into fights because we don't have money? Now you're afraid to ask for a raise. Now you're afraid to talk about money. You're afraid to even ask your job for more. You're afraid to ask for that 5-figure price that you want for your coaching program or for the real estate that you're doing or whatever the case may be. You got a fear of asking for the sale. You have a fear of talking to people. You have a fear, again, it leads back to your fear of what? Fear of rejection. You're afraid that somebody's going to tell you no. Let them tell you no, because no simply just means next opportunity. And in the book, The Power to Profit, I share with you how to break through those barriers. So again, there's so much that I could give you guys on this live. So I'm going to say, absolutely purchase a copy of my book that you can literally get on my website, and purchase a copy of the book, or go to my website also and book a session with me where we can literally see if you're a fit to work with me. You know, I don't work with everybody. I will say that. However, if you believe in yourself enough to even and have the confidence to even pick up the phone or even go online and schedule an appointment with me, that's step one, because most people never even take that step. They see that the opportunity is there and they do nothing. It's like, well, that I want to talk to her, but, and then they start talking, allowing their ego to talk them out of why they shouldn't book the appointment. Well, you don't have the money for this, and you can't do this, and da 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 da. In the book, The Power of the Prophet, I show you how to nip that in the bud. You don't have to keep it just because. Let me say this to you guys: a thought is just a thought. A belief is just a belief. Your brain is just your brain. These are 3 different things. Your mind is your mind. 40. These are all different things. Do they work together? Yes. But the thing is they are all dealt with separately, because they're separate. It's together, but they're separate. I can change my mind. I can reprogram my brain. I can think about something else. Do y'all see what I'm saying? You see where I'm saying that you do have the control here. But so often you feel powerless and you just allow your mind to come in and control it for you. So now your brain thinks whatever your mind sent it. It believes whatever thoughts came in it that interrupted it, and it's sending those messages right on down in your heart. Your heart starts feeling a connection to whatever it is that you're believing, feeling, etc. And there you have it, either a successful business or a business that flops.
So it's just like you mentioned, you guys. Again, the book is here. I'm gonna leave her a link in our bio. But just like you said, Coach, just to piggyback on what you brought up about
Sure.
reference to mindset
Yes.
is, I'm sorry, guys. I'm a mompreneur for the baby. She's been, a little sick a couple of
Don't worry about it.
So just don't mind her. But in Power to Profit, you also mentioned the growth mindset and a fixed mindset. So
Yes.
let's tap in us a little bit before we wrap this up and see exactly how someone can be able to be teachable and transformable. It's like something similar to what you're saying. So how does one get out of that?
You have to choose to get out of it. There's no magic wand. There's no magic wand. You have to do the work. You have to do the work in order to get out of it. If you want to get out of it, the first step is literally identifying what the limiting beliefs are that you have. And also not just identifying the limiting beliefs, but eliminating those limiting beliefs. How do you eliminate those beliefs? You get with somebody like me, you get with a coach who can help you to identify what they are. So when we talk about a limiting mindset, you would say things that such as I can't I can't take this class because I don't have the money in order for me to pay for it. But a growth mindset says, well, how can I get the money that I need in order to be able to take the class? A limited mindset says, oh, well, I can only make $10,000, $20,000 a year because that's the most money that I ever made. And plus, I don't want to make more money than my parents because I don't want to seem like I'm better than them. But a growth mindset says, I'm open to 10x everything that I make over the next 10 years. And here's the plan that I'm going to utilize in order for me to do it, right? You have to literally be able to identify what's limiting you and then transform over into what is possible, what is available to you. Because yes, limitation is available to you, but so is abundance. Is sadness available to you? Sure it is, but so is happiness. Is good health available to you? Sure it is, but so is sickness. You understand? So to everything that is available, the opposing is also available. It's just you making a decision to choose what you prefer. What do you want? And once you decide that that's what you want, then you get with someone who can literally help you to break out of it. Start with the book. Start if you feel like you don't, maybe you are in a financial jam and you may not have all of the funds that you might need to coach with somebody like me. That's okay. Start with the book, start where you are. And that way you can literally learn some things, because at the end of the day, the things that you learn from the book, The Power to Profit, is literally going to it's going to have you unlearn a lot of things that you thought you knew were right, but were absolutely incorrect. So you can't really change anything if you don't really know what's wrong. If you don't know what those beliefs are that are in the way, that what are the recordings in your mind that keep going on replay, that is still keeping you stuck. What are the fears? What are the guilts? What are the emotions? What are the shames? What are the things that are attached to that feeling that you have inside? Because somewhere deep down inside, if you keep asking, well, how do I get through that? The first thing you have to do is decide that I'm choosing to get through this. The next thing after deciding that you're going to get through this is deciding creating a plan of what steps you're going to take in order to get through it. I know I have to change my mindset. I know that I can't have the same habits. I know I can't be being lazy all of the time. I know that I got to get some work done. I know that I need to do my video recordings. I know that I need to go talk to my boss. I know that I need to file these papers. I know that I need to start taking small steps that will literally tell your brain that you're going in another direction. If you don't do this on a consistent basis, and you don't even perhaps even join us for accountability coaching, I also have accountability coaching. So where if you need help with staying on track with things, then I can help you with, these are the 3 things that you need to get done for today. These are the things that you need to get done for the week. Da, 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 da. This is how it's going to help you reach your income goal. Da, 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 da. Depends on what it is that you want to achieve. What is your goal? What would you like to accomplish? Deciding what you want to accomplish, and then deciding that these are the steps, and getting with someone who can help you create a plan to show you the different ways that you can get out of it. That is priceless. All right. And then in your business, taking a look and seeing the different ways that you can profit in your business, right? Scaling what you do have. What do you have already that you can utilize that same product, but expand certain different things from that particular product or service that you have, such as memberships, right? Or such as, let's just say, auto shipping. Right? If you have a product, you can set your customers up for auto ship, things like that. You have to set yourself up for your come up. That's that's basically it.
So, Coach, just before we wrap this up, what can you lead us into, like a meditation to bring forth those little beliefs. I know it's a little off. I know I gave you questions before the meeting, but I just feel like it's we did have like a little technical difficulties in the beginning, but I wanted to see, is it something
Okay.
that you give us like a little 2 minute meditation just to bring forth the energy? This is what you do. Like, you guys don't understand. This is what she does. This is what myself and her other clients, she has over 50, 100 clients working with her on a monthly basis. And this is what she does on her platforms, which will allow you to call in money. People have got money. People have got into their business, increasing their businesses, increasing their relationships, increasing their mindset and their life, showing traumas. Like, she really digs in deep when you actually pay for her services. But she also does this for free as well on her page, which is like, a little slight. So don't get it wrong. This is something that does require some tangible funds. But can you just lead us into like at least a 2 minute shift, mindset shift to in the right direction of building a business? Yesterday was the new moon. Everybody's trying to rearrange and clean out old habits and old things. So can you, coach? I know this off guard, but I know you always diving that you are. But if you can lead us into like a 2 minute, 2 or 3 minute, actually, I'm gonna let the spirit use you, but I'll say 2 minutes. That's a mindset shift.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you guys, and I'm gonna turn my camera off because I don't want you guys to pay a whole lot of attention to me. I want you to pay attention to me, but not too much. Okay. So give me 1 second.
Okay, you guys, as well during this time, she's going to turn her camera off. You guys going to just pretty much listen to the sound of her
And what
voice
you guys are
and
gonna do,
go
y'all gonna close your eyes. That's what y'all gonna do. So as my camera is off and I'm speaking to you guys, what I want you to do is close your eyes. Take a deep breath. All right. So I'm going to walk you through this exercise, and it's my gift to you. So, my main thing is making sure that you guys are using the right thoughts and the right ideas that you need to actually hold on to in your mind, right? Because at the end of the day, as I stated before, right, you must transform your mind. You must stop saying the things that are limiting your success. So let's just go through this process. And I'm not going to take you guys through the whole thing, but you guys will experience something on this. All right. So what you're going to hear me say is a few affirmations. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to assist you with clearing them. All right. All right. So the first thing I want you to do is close your eyes. And I want you to take a deep breath in. I want you to hold it for about 5 seconds. And release. And I want you to take another deep breath in. Hold it. And release. And one more deep breath in. Hold it. And release. Now, what you're going to do is all of those beliefs that came up for you when I was talking to you guys earlier about certain actions that you should be taking in your business, certain things that you could be doing that you may not be doing because of your thinking and because of your habits and things of that nature. What I want you to imagine is that all of these things are dissolving. I want you to see all of your fears, all of your doubts, all of your shames just dissolving. And I want you to empty yourself of all negative thoughts, all feelings that are not in alignment with what you truly desire and deserve. And once you have thrown out all of these negativity and these limiting beliefs, now what you can do is you can switch your role to the role of your higher self. Now, when you switch into the role of your higher self, you have an opportunity to change your self-image. Your higher self is that version, the highest version of yourself that allows you rather than hinders you. It allows you to be, to do, and to have the things that you deserve and desire. This is the version of you that has already manifested everything. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to allow your higher self to be at this moment where you can truly take on the role of the self-image that you are choosing for yourself. So if you see yourself as a 6, 7, 8-figure business owner, I want you to see yourself as that version of yourself. And I want you to notice the words that you speak, being this highest version of yourself, earning 6, 7, and 8 figures in your business. I want you to notice the words that come out of you. And what I want you to do is I want you to pretend to be that version of yourself. And I want you to say to yourself your name or your alter ego, whoever you're choosing to be, is you are free from the limiting belief of being not good enough. So for example, Takiyah, Kiyah, Lisa, Jason, Jimmy, Tammy, Tamika. I want you to talk to the highest version of yourself. Speak from the highest version of yourself. And say, you are free from the limiting belief of not being good enough. Now you can use the words that you are free of and plug in the new belief. By doing that, you are freeing yourself from all negativity, all the subconscious blocks and other limiting beliefs that you have in your energy field that are blocking all of your manifestations. The next step is to really stay in your higher self role. I want you to stay there and tell yourself that you are what you want to manifest. That you are choosing to have what you want. Don't say, I'm going to have the money. I'm going to have the lover. No, but say, I am money. I am abundance. I am the gratitude. I am love. And always use your word. You are, because by seeing yourself as this, you are giving a magical power to your current self. And at this moment, when you say that you are something, you are making a declaration to the universe that there is no separation between where you are and where you want to go. And so now you assume all the higher qualities of your higher self, which is you are loved, you are abundance, you are building your infinite intelligence, your infinite business, your best business ever. Tell yourself these words over and over again. And once you are really with your state of being, your next step would be to stay in your higher self. Do the best that you can to not switch back to your lower self. Will the lower self try to seep in? Of course it will. But you'll just take in a deep breath and you'll release that version of yourself and you will call back into yourself the highest version of yourself. And now you can tell yourself, Kiyah, Takiyah, Tamika, that you are open to receive the sum of money that you desire and more. And everything that doesn't allow you to be this version of yourself, everything that doesn't allow you to be, do, and have everything that you deserve in your desire for your life, for your business, for your health, for your family. Will you uncreate, delete, and destroy it all now, across all time, dimension, space, and reality? Take a deep breath in. Hold it. And release. And what I want you to ask yourself is all of the doubts, all of the fears, all of the uncertainties, all of the chaoticness in my mind, in my body, in my spirit. Can I let this go? And I want you to respond to yourself by saying, yes, I can. And the next thing I want you to ask yourself, all of this mental drama and trauma in my mind, in my body, in my spirit that I'm holding on to consciously and unconsciously, will I let this go? And you'll respond, yes, I will. You take a deep breath in, hold it, and release. And the last question that you're going to ask yourself is, when will I let this go? When will I let all of this frustration, all of this uncertainty, all of this dishonesty, all of the times I haven't been honest with myself, all of the times that I haven't allowed myself to be the best version of myself, when will I let the old version of myself go? And I want you to respond, I release that version of myself now. I release that version of myself now. I release that version of myself now. And I want you to take a deep breath in. I want you to hold it for about 5 seconds. And I want you to literally release that version of yourself now. And you should begin to feel the energy moving out as you take another deep breath in and release that old version of yourself, no longer doubtful, no longer fearful, now courageous, now confident. You are now certain that you can do any and all things by changing your mindset, by changing your skill set, and by getting your mind and heart coherence in order and aligned with what you deserve and what you desire when it comes to being, doing, and having what you prefer. I want you to take one last deep breath in and hold it in through your nose and out through your mouth. And on the count of 3, I want you to go ahead and open up your eyes. But we're going to count from backwards, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to count forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right? So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just feeling relaxed, completely relaxed. Embracing and integrating that higher version of yourself into who you are now. And now let's go forward. 1, 2, 3, say now I can see all about me. 4, I am ready to open my eyes and the door. 5, my eyes are open and I am alive, alive. And 0, I am my own hero because I can always come to my own rescue. Namaste.
Yes, yes. I'm excited, guys. I see increases in people's businesses, their mindset. The baby was crying for me while I was meditating, so I'm so happy and grateful for that one. But yes, you
Yes.
guys, I'm trying to let you guys know that I'm sorry, guys. I'm a mompreneur, so just don't mind me when it comes to the baby. But
Mommypreneur.
yes, I am excited, you guys. I thank you so much, Takiyah, for joining me this evening. Before we go, how can everyone get in touch with you? Do you want to book a session, be a part of Prosperity Genius? How can we get in touch with you?
Okay, so to get in touch with me, you can absolutely Google me, baby. That's the easiest way to find me. Takiyah, diamond like the rain. Now, if you're serious about working with me and you really want to book a session, then I want you to go to my website at takiyahdiamond.com. Now, just because you're on this live session with Business Credit Gems with Kiyah, Miss Gems herself, I want to offer you guys access to my free I manifest money manifestation journal. And what this journal does is it literally helps you to do that thing I was talking about earlier when it came to identifying the limiting beliefs that you have and creating new beliefs to replace them with. Absolutely free. You will have an opportunity to download this book at no cost to you by simply texting the word genius to the number that you see there when you go there. Now, after you take advantage of my free gift, you'll also get access into the I Manifest Money Manifestors community, where we are always working on money mindset. In that group, I train them on the laws of money. They are trained on how to be fearless, confident, consciouspreneurs. They are understanding the laws of cause and effect. They understand the law of assumption. They understand so many of the universal laws that are in place that are literally designed to help us live a life that we love. And so go there and get in the group. Once you're on the website, you download the book. Then what I want you to do is click on the button that says coach with me and book a session with me. Take advantage of it. Now, this is only if you're serious and you're really ready to get to work. Please, please, please don't waste my time because I don't have a lot of it. All right. So please, if you're ready to literally work on your mindset and you know you're in business and you're like, look, I need a business coach. I need a mindset coach because I know what I want to do, but I really don't have the proper mindset. I really don't have the proper skill set that I need. I'm not even sure if I even have all of the skills that I need. And I don't have the strategy that I need in order to accomplish what it is that I want to accomplish. So that's where I come in at, to show you what's stopping you and literally get the answers from within yourself that you need in order to move forward, and then provide you with the strategy on how to knock those things out, getting your energy aligned like we just did, altering your self-image in order for you to shift who you are as a person, which by default shifts the reality that you see in front of you. All right. So that's how you can find me. TakiyahDiamond.com. Book a session. Also click on the link that says books, where you'll see my entire Minds Up book catalog, where you can get books like Get Your Life Together, The Power of the Prophet, Wisdom Words of Consciousness, 7 Things You Need to Change Your Life, The Intelligence Blueprint to Resolving Your Money Problems Once and For All. There's so many different guides there that can literally help you to overcome and literally change your income. But it starts by you changing your mindset and what's incoming into your mind so that you can allow some new things to take place in your heart. And as these new things take place in your heart, you will notice that you will begin to shift your habits. And as you shift your habits, your character changes. And as your character changes, people begin to fall in love with that version of you. And guess what? You become the version of yourself that you've always wanted to be. So get with me. Don't be scared. Push the button. I'm worth it. And so are you.
You know what, you guys? Today has been amazing. I am actually so excited just for the breakthroughs that people are going to be having after this live event today. Thank you so much, Takiyah, for joining me today. I know
Yeah,
you're
very
super,
much
super
welcome.
busy. Again, you guys, I'm going to be leaving the link for her free manifestation journal in the bio on any of these platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I will be leaving the link in the bio to get in contact with Takiyah.
Yeah,
You're not going to be disappointed at all. She
disappointed.
helps change my life. She's been coaching me for the past 10 years. So you guys would not be disappointed at all. Again, thank you so much, Takiyah, for joining me today, and I so appreciate you.
You are very much welcome, and I can't wait to do it again. You know, I'll see you guys soon. And listen, guys, don't touch that dial because you might miss something. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you take a look at those reels. Go back and watch those videos. Go on my YouTube channel. Whatever I have for free, take advantage of the free resources if you're not financially set yet. But if you are feeling like, you know what, I can manage this, I'm ready to invest in myself, then literally book a session with me because guess what? I can get you, I'm the type to get you there very quick. I'm not going to take you through a whole lot of stuff. I'm going to show you what's wrong. We're going to pull it out. We're going to put in some new things and then we're going to move forward. So you don't end up working with me forever and ever and ever. Most people that stay with me forever and ever and ever is because they love me that much and they really love the energy that I get to them and they love the results that they get. So they stay with me. But guess what? You'll get results and you're probably going to stay with me too. So join us, join our world. It's amazing on this side.
Yes, you guys. Yes, you guys. Again, thank you so much, Takiyah. You have a great day. I
Thank you.
enjoyed this interview. So, you guys, again, I am dropping so many different gems and bringing this real people and real professionals in this industry. It's not always about credit, it's not always about funding. It's about your mindset and having to be prepared, having it to be structured and prepared the right way for you to get to the next level. So, again, you guys, I know this is a Sunday. Don't mind me. I had a family issue, but I will be again with you next Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with our next real person or professional to help you get to the next level. Bye now.